Also, what's happened with those inquiries that did come in?
Canceled.
Did you call them and speak to them?
Emailed them the day before, and then
You got to call them. Did you get them on the phone and talk to them? When they inquired, when they booked, the most important thing you can do is get on the phone with these people as quickly as possible when they inquire or when they book, so that you can confirm them. I'm going to send you a link that I want you to have on hand whenever an inquiry or a booking comes in. So this document explains how you reduce no-shows, right? Cancellations and no-shows. You need to make a human connection with these people as quickly as possible, because until they have that, you're just a website or an email. You're not a person that they're canceling on or ghosting on. So that's one thing. The other element is when you get them on the phone, the selling begins. You're not selling the school, but you're positioning and you're selling the tour, right? So how you do that is really important. And this document here even gives you a script to follow. You need to qualify them. It's really important. So that qualification process, it serves two purposes. Number one, it lets you know if this person is like on target, if they're somebody that you want to come in for a tour or not. Second of all, if they are somebody that you want to come in for a tour, it'll make them more interested to come in. It starts to build trust and credibility. And it's a very important part of the sales process because you're getting them to think. If you're asking the questions the right way or the right questions, you're guiding them through the thought process of making this decision. Now, they can't make that decision until they come into the school and come in and see the facility and meet you and all that stuff. But you're making it much more likely that they will. This is the process of building trust and credibility with these people, because people that come from a word of mouth referral, they have a very high probability of enrolling. Facebook ads, it's the best place to find people that don't know you and don't have a referral. And you need those people because word of mouth referral is not filling up your school anymore. So you have to pull them in, but you have to understand where they're at in this process of making this really huge decision, which takes a lot of trust and credibility, right? So like our assumption is, and what we see on average is it takes around 10 Facebook inquiries to achieve an enrollment. All right. There's going to be people that don't book, that book and don't show up, that ghost you and all that stuff. But what you have to do, your job, is to get on the phone with them and make that human connection and to guide the process like a professional. When you do that, when they talk to you and you're in control of that conversation and you're asking the questions and finding out the information that you need, you're essentially interviewing them and you're positioning yourself the right way for them to feel like this place is credible. This place is worthy of my trust. That's how you build the trust and get them over the hump to actually get in their car, book some time off work, get a babysitter, get their mom to watch the other kid, whatever they need to do to get their butt into the car and drive over to your school. That's where your energy really needs to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's just the way it is today. You know what I mean? First and foremost, let's get this campaign going so you've got more of these people. But with those 3 inquiries that came in, you have a much higher chance of getting them to actually show up if you're on the phone with them and you're controlling that conversation and guiding the conversation. And the kind of trust and credibility they need at this stage is, this is like a really organized professional business. They're not ready to hand their kid over because they got to come in. There's a lot more that has to happen that can only happen in person. But to get them from Facebook ad to showing up in person is that conversation on the phone. And if you call them, you want to call them within 5 minutes. When they become an inquiry or when they book a tour, when it's hot in their mind, okay? And they probably won't pick up the first time because they don't recognize the number. You call them back again. And they might not pick up the second time. Then you call them back again. I'm talking about the same day. Call them 3 times. That's okay,
Okay.
right? Because when they pick up, it's like they're good. This is important, and like they're going to appreciate that you made the effort to get in touch with them and confirm, talk to them,
Okay.
and that's how you want them to feel. You want to feel like they should feel like they're being interviewed, like they're in an application process, because that's what it is. Ultimately, after this, they come in for a tour, they have to fill out an application. This is an application process. So they need to feel that from the beginning.
Okay. I know I called one of them twice and they didn't pick up, and I think that's when I emailed, and well, you just have to be persistent more.
Yeah, you can call them the next day. You've invested in getting these people to this point. You want to get the return. This is where the energy needs to go. Like, it's worth your time, because the more effort you put in here, the more enrollment you're going to get. But this is where schools need the most help. It's going from inquiry and tour to actually showing up for the tour. Once they come in for the tour, we don't have much advice for you. Generally speaking, the school is going to sell itself. You guys know, like, they come in, you don't have to like become like a sales expert so much on that. The real sales training that has to come into play for schools is this middle point between the inquiry and showing up for a tour. That's the bottleneck where things really fall apart for schools. Schools are just used to getting word of mouth inquiries, which don't need any effort. They're so ready to go. The unfortunate reality is that word of mouth doesn't really fill up schools anymore. It still gets you a bunch of students. Like, a good school is going to get word of mouth enrollment. It's going to happen. That's a result of having a good product, a good program. But these days, for most schools, that's not sufficient to get them full and have a waiting list. I really can't emphasize enough how important it is that when you get these inquiries, like, you've paid for them, and you're not going to get most of them.
Yeah.
But if you put the effort in, you'll get enough that you get a really good return on the investment. You just have to go in understanding that the majority of these inquiries are not going to enroll, but they're still worth it, because they might enroll next year or the year after. Some of these people are just kicking the tires they're just looking around for like next year or 2 years down the road or something. You don't want to give those people tours right now. That's not worth your time. What's worth your time is figuring out who these people are and getting a higher percentage of them to get in and come in for a tour, if they qualify. But you got to qualify them. That qualification process is for all sales, like all salespeople. Generally, when they're not closing enough deals, it's because they're not qualifying that potential customer well enough. So when I say qualify, I mean you're interviewing them. You're asking them the questions that get them to think about the problems that they have that you solve. That's what that phase is about. You want to ask them the questions like, why are you looking for another school? We call them problem questions, right? You want to ask them questions that make them think about the problem that they have. Why are you looking for a school right now? Maybe they need a no school. Maybe they're in public school and they need or where they are isn't sufficient, or they haven't found one yet. They just haven't found the right place yet. That's their problem. Your solution for that is not your school, by the way. You're not selling the school yet. You're selling the opportunity to come in and see if this is the right place for their kid. And that's actually an important distinction. You don't have to try to sell the school. You don't want to get into trying to get them to make a decision on enrollment.
I see, because like sometimes when people call, even without the website or anything,
Yeah.
they're asking about everything already over the phone.
Your job, you know how you build trust? You control that conversation, and you don't let them steer it and start asking questions that are too soon to answer. They're too soon to be asked. It's like, why are we talking tuition? Why are we talking about how much this thing costs?